This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. This is my 852nd consecutive day releasing an MTG video. And today's video, we are going to play Yorion Blink, a deck that is being piloted as we speak by Autumn Burchett in the Strixhaven Championship. And I watched an absolutely beautiful match yesterday against friend of the show, Paulo Vito Dama de Rosa, playing Sultai Emergent Ultimatum, in which Autumn's just blinkiness, how else do you put it? The endless Sky Noodle mastery just destroyed Paulo's Emergent Ultimatum deck, which I did not think I would see. Destroyed is a strong word. Paulo cast Emergent Ultimatum twice in game one, and about 50 minutes later, something like that, there were only like 7 minutes left on the clock, Autumn won. It was insane. What a match. So it got me pumped up to, I don't know, blink things with Yorion. I kind of wake up every day feeling that way. I heard that the deck was designed by Aaron Gertler, who is a designer from who made Teamer Adventures. Kind of funny that Aaron has a nice Yorion loop deck, as that Teamer Adventure deck just destroyed all blue-white control decks for a period of time. But yeah, I'm gonna run the deck, because this might be your Strixhaven champion, and nothing would make me happier, of course, than seeing classic, proper blue-white Yorion as Yorion was meant to be as your Strixhaven champion, even though Strixhaven cards, we don't have those. They're not in the deck. But this is a best of 3 list, so if you want to take it into best of 3 and play it with sideboard, I'm going to include the sideboard in the deck list just the way I found it. No changes made here. Diving in and just going for the blinking nonsense. A few cool synergies. There is Nico Aris, and Nico can make a ton of shards, and the shards are enchantments, so they trigger the Archon of Sun's Grace to make a whole bunch of Pegasus tokens, which is just a thing that I say because it's funny and I hear it on Twitch. And 4 Archon of Sun's Grace also makes the deck much more playable against aggro, which is the best of 1 thing. So I'm happy to get out the Archon version in best of 1, because then I don't think you need perfect removal at every stage of the game. You just need a little bit of Archon magic to pull you back in the game against mono red and mono white. Also, looking at the rest of the list, we do have Doomscar, we do have Elspeth Conquers Death, some of the usual suspects of blue-white control. There are 2 Midnight Clocks, which is a fun one. The deck can kind of run out of win cons sometimes. Like, you can play out this stuff, but if they board wipe it, you start over. So there aren't always enough win cons, which is weird. So Midnight Clock is a bit of a win con of its own, as well as a fresh 7 and a little bit of mana ramp in an otherwise slow deck. For the counter spells, we have 4 copies of Jwari Disruption and 4 copies of Saw It Coming. Saw It Coming is definitely taxed, as there are a lot of must counter cards in the format, so getting them back with Midnight Clock sounds fun. 4 copies of Skyclave Apparition, 3 copies of Omen of the Sun. Those also make aggro's day tough. And of course, the things that dreams are truly made of. 4 copies of Mazemind Tome, 4 copies of Omen of the Sea, to make sure that you're always drawing extra cards and you keep blinking them with Yorions to do it again and again and again. 3 Field of Ruins, probably for Faceless Haven, although there are various other things you might want to hit with those. And that's the list. That's what's going on. Most of you who watch the channel a lot, you know what's going on with Yorion Blink. You know I love the Sky Noodle. You know it's what I am here for. To everybody who leaves a comment, another Yorion deck, get blinked. Get blinking blinked, you little blinkers. This is my show. And yeah, I'm going to play this, especially when I'm feeling totally like fired up after watching that match yesterday between the world champion and Autumn Burchett playing blue-white Yorion. So, we're about to dive in. We're about to let the nonsense begin. Stay till the end, where we'll talk about any changes I might suggest after playing the games for Best of One, as well as giving dedications to the people who signed up on Patreon and got a membership by hitting the button below for their exclusive perks. It's going to be fun. We'll also purchase a cosmetic. There's some sweet ones in the store. But before we dive in, I want to give a plug to 2 things I was recently involved in if you're looking for more CGB entertainment. First, I was a guest commentator for the Hooglandia Open on May 30th. This is a historic tournament on Jeff Hoogland's channel. Jeff Hoogland put the coverage all trimmed down so you could watch it very quickly on YouTube. It's a video, so make sure you check that out. You can just search for this title, Historic Hooglandia Open Coverage May 30th, 2021, or I'll try to remember to throw a link in the description for you. That's number 1. Thing 2 is another thing that I was involved in. A little bit, not very much, but this is Alias V's Cause for Commander video on her channel, so check that one out. And it is, I think it's a good step in the direction of making Commander more watchable on YouTube, and I really hope that you do check it out. So that's the plug for this show. It's quick. It's like an 18-minute Commander game, so at the very least, check out the editing. I hope it's a way that Paper Magic content can be more accessible on YouTube, because I do love Arena for what it is, but there's a lot of things I'd love to do with Paper again. So also, it's possible that I might get to guest on this someday in the future if enough people support it. So please go check it out. And if you leave a comment like CGB sent me, I'm sure that will help, or just that you'd like to see CGB on the show, that might help my chances of being on the show sometime in the future. As for game nights, one step at a time. Right now, I'd prefer to be on A Cause for Commander with my friend Ailey. So please check those out. Now it's time to dive in. Let the nonsense begin. So, Birth, Omen, ECD on the play, no companion, probably aggro, sleeves of questionable is-itness. Maybe the dragon deck. I think this hand is good against that. Let's go. Hide the info. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Oh, yeah, I see you are also an info hider. I would like this plains, please. I will now reveal my basic land strategy to you. Do you like it? Are you impressed? Could slow roll this and Portella saw it coming. I'm trying to think of a world where that's the right play, but I think this is just the right play. In a world. Snow-covered island looks like the Izzy Dragons. Well, having counter spells will be pretty good for that matchup. It really throws them off their game plan. Should we buy Yorion now because they're not going to do anything too impressive for a long time, and then we can play the flash game the rest of the time? I think that's a good idea. Like, what's the most they're going to do next turn? Play a Bone Crusher Giant? Most people, I think, get into a zone where from turn 3 onwards, they always hold up a counterspell. But if you're in a matchup where you think the opponent's not going to take advantage of you tapping out on turn 3, you should probably just draw an extra card and make it a Sky Noodle. Of course, make absolutely sure when you do this, make absolutely sure that you're not going to discard to hand size. And even then, sometimes it's still right. I could foretell here and then still have Omen open, but I wouldn't have this Omen open. If my opponent does nothing, I want to play the Omen of the Sun. Start giving them the beating. Uh-oh. Not my wall. Alright. You got it. You did it. Gotta get that value. Let's make some 1/1s. Skyclave Apparition. Was that hit in this matchup? I guess maybe the Borrowers and the Bone Crushies. What you got? Alright, let's start foretelling some Saw It Coming. Since we only have 2 blue. If we had 3 blue, it would be a lot easier because we could Omen and Saw It Coming. But as it is, that's not really an option. We're not going to counter this Borrower. We'll try to pick it off with an Apparition in the near future. Uh-huh. There'll be plenty of kind of little value here. Get a little card here, get a little card there in this matchup, I think. They probably run somewhere between 4 and 6 counter spells of their own. They have their own Faceless Havens. We have Field of Ruins. We have 4 counter spells. We have Yorions and Elspeth Conquers Deaths and all kinds of things that are going to make this interesting. This Omen comes down and finds land. All right, how much land is too much land? I think I'll take this island and not this plains. Yeah. So Bone Crusher Giant blowing this up and making a 3/3 is pretty unfortunate because we can't really spar with that either. But we can make them have the Bone Crusher Giant. It's just so likely that they kill an Apparition. I don't even know if this play is worth it. At least right now their creature can't block our 1/1s. But I'm not doing anything else unless I'm casting Yorion and getting it countered, and we want to wait another turn for that. So I guess I should have kept the land. Didn't think that through quite enough because having counter mana is just better. I think I'm at least going to wait one more turn. And we'll foretell this. So that my next land lets me force out Yorions and force out ECDs. Because I don't think playing this card is any good. We play this, we exile their Brazen Borrower, they kill it, now they have a 3/3 that can block or attack instead of a 3/1 that can only attack. And they have so many ways to kill it. Frostbite and Bone Crusher Giant. It'll be no problem if they want to abuse us for playing Skyclave Apparition. But they're not... Let's see, they use the iteration, but otherwise they're not seeing extra cards. And they say go. And that's a land. What do you think? Will we lose a counterspell war with Yorion? I think we try to play the ECD. And we're willing to lose the ECD, and then we go for the Yorion? If we go for the Yorion and they counter it, but we win the ECD war, we get a Yorion back eventually, though. So maybe we do go for Yorion first. Yorion! We're not fighting, though. Lofty Denial. Yep. Alright, so they're a Lofty Denial gamer. So this will be the fun part where we try to figure out just how many counter spells they've drawn. Alright, they're moving in now. So that Fire Prophecy, I think, is a sign that they're digging for another counter spell, because now they feel insecure with their hand, because they could have done that a different turn. Uh-huh. Yeah. The standoff is ending, which is what we want, I suppose. So we do want to use a counterspell during this turn cycle on them. Maybe they'll play around that by powering up Faceless Haven. Nope. And they don't play a dragon. So all runs Epiphany? Yep. ECD. And we await the return of the Chosen One. The Sky Noodle. We also got them to use a Bone Crusher Giant and a Fire Prophecy. Alright, let's fight. Kind of scared now, because there's extra mana open. Ah, but it resolves. Okay. Yay. Giant is here. Giant can be put in a box. A little more value from our Yorion. Alright, to exile. Yeah, we exile and then we casket, right? And we'll just put this on the field now. And then we can flicker it with Yorion next turn, right? Right. Because either way, we'll create the 4/4, either by blinking the Skyclave or watching it die. Opponent's like, why'd they do that? What? Oh, you'll find out. Alright. Iteration with tax from ECD is very good. Means they can't do anything too powerful with what they find this turn. Faceless Haven, number 3. Gotta get you some Haven love. I am a bit worried about the Havens. The Omen helps a bit. But yeah, in general, there isn't much card draw. The opponent's played 2 expressive iterations. And now with Yorion coming back, we just get an overwhelming amount of value, hopefully. And the opponent doesn't even let us see it. There will be no Yorion blinking against them today. Fighting an actual antelope. Is that, like, related to an elk? Was Oko here? All right. Doomscar. Nice. On the draw is sad. We do need another white. Let's see what happens. Sear Step Pathway. Rakdos? All right. Yorion's typical, like, historical prey is Rakdos. I am going to try to use the Jwari, though. Although I might slam this tome. Wait, what? Jund? Magda? I don't know what's happening. So maybe like Korvold? I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, really. But this looks really, like, free treasures are threatening. Mana ramp is threatening. Let's just bolt the bird. It's a very different looking bird. All right. More mana ramp. No white source for us. Do we foretell a Doomscar? I think we try to find white mana. But the sooner we get the tome down, the sooner we gain life, and the longer the game goes, the better off we are. Let's tome. See what happens. Opponent did miss a land drop, and this requires another creature to work. And now we'll try to scry our way to mana. Looks like their draw is very clunky. So I've been trying to make Jesper a Sentinel, Magda, Korvold, Sacrifice Jund work. Frickin' Yorion, though, man. Yorion just doesn't allow it. It's perfect. Yorion just shuts that down. More specifically, Emergent Ultimatum, but Yorion plays his part. Yep, keep the land coming. Looking good. The giant hits face. Will opponent find a creature or a land here? Yep, they found a Crag Crown. So, mono pathways so far. Down comes the 4/3. They can use the 4/3 to make mana. Opponent may be nervous about attacking into this. They like their mana creature too much. Let's play an Omen. Get more stuff on the board for the Yorion. And I mean, I'll just take all the land here. It's going well. No reason to scry. Unless we wanted to run this to the 4 life zone. Scry again. Another omen. We could deploy another tome. I think I'll foretell the Doomscar so it's cheap next turn. Because I do expect Doomscar to be the play. Jwari Disruption, we might hit something with it. Maybe an Embercleave, maybe a Showdown of the Scalds. So, we could disrupt the Chariot, but the opponent can pay for it with this mana. So, they got pretty lucky to draw the land. We'll need Skyclave Apparition to take out the Chariot now. The Disruption could have saved us some life, but I think it's okay. We'll Doomscar and then we'll Apparition the Chariot at some point. Cards, cards, cards. Come on, baby. Yorion. Doomscar? Doomscar. So I can play this as a land or I can save it. I'm feeling saving it. I'm missing a land drop for it, but we're still up a land on our opponent. Now we're not. They've drawn several straight lands here. They're feeling pretty good. And that card is a tilt. Well, if they take the Jwari, we can just play it as a land. If their plan is to play like a Magda here and power up the Chariot, they have to take the Jwari. But they take the Yorion. One of the 2 Yorions, I might add. All right, so they're not playing into Jwari. Let's play the Omen. Yep, another giant. Always more giants. ECD seems awesome. Clock seems slow. Rather just have another land. All right, cool. All the temples, though. No basics, just temples. And tomes. Don't need any more. Thank you. All right, so they can power up the Chariot next turn. So I'm going to pick that off. Our opponent right now, Blade Historian hits hard, and they do have the mana for it, but Winota doesn't trigger. All right. Historian it is. Five life. I think I'm just going to gain the life. Make sure we don't get cheesed out of the game. I think I have more than enough value here. Field of Ruin, untapped land, yay. Tax. Probably doesn't matter since they're probably on a ton of creatures, but this is going to be nice. On the other hand, we could Apparition first. And we could also pay all 7 to play the expensive one. But I don't think the Jwari is going to matter. All right, let's just get the expensive one played. Yorion. I think we let you have a Magda. Although having a legendary under here is nice. And Spellbinder coming back wouldn't be good. All right, just these. Because if the opponent ever plays a second Magda, we can flicker the casket and eliminate one of them. Let's go ahead and take you out. Lands seem good. More apparitions seem good. Man, we just got everything we need. We just need the time to play them and to not die. Well, having one of these in the graveyard isn't too bad. Why not? Why not? Keep it coming. Yorion them until they can't take it anymore. It's a serious question. How much sky noodling Can the body endure? I think we have enough apparitions, to be honest. Yep, there's a good one. Saw it coming. Nico's one. Yep, let's go. You gotta admire their fight. They're still out there fighting. More Yorion. Keep the one that's tapped. Double the Yorion. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Pegasus, let's go. Some land, why not? Blinkies, why not? You feel it in your bones, don't you? You steal my Yorion? Let me just de-yoink that. You'll never escape. It will go on forever. If that isn't mono red, I don't know what is. All right. How's our mono red hand? We're on the play Birth Nico. Jouari's going to have to tag a Annex or an Embercleave or a Torbran. Let's keep. It does mean we get to cast Birth and then hold up mana. Hello? Excuse me, I'm in enemy territory. There will be no hello. Because you are the enemy. All right. Could foretell. Let's Birth. Do need to find another blue. I could play this as that blue, but I have a feeling I'll really need the counter spells, but we'll see. Rimrock Knight. Rimrock Knight, you now face my O4. By the way, no snow-covered land, so no Faceless Haven, which is kind of a downer, but probably Castle Embreth. Let the staring begin. Next turn we can foretell, saw it coming, and then cast it. Oh, an attack. I block this attack. How on earth does a Rimrock rock on a Rimrock? Alright. Wall destroyed. Land not dropped. Red Mage, what you doing? What you actually doing over here? Alright. These are pretty good. Pretty good. They're not another blue. But I'm going to keep them. And we now have the chance, like we can either foretell the saw coming and then hold it or Jouari open, or play the tome, and I want the tome on the battlefield. Let's get it ticking. That life gain is just, oof, they hate it. The red mages hate it so much. Robber of the no. That's robber of the no. That's what we call that. Pretty good. Not another blue, though. How greedy am I? Not that greedy. We'll keep it. Pretty good is pretty good. All right, I'm going to foretell this. I can take another punch from this knight. I'm not that worried about that. I want to be able to counter Annex for sure while I'm waiting for the mana for this Elspeth Conquers Death. Alright, they go for another Rimrock Knight. That's not really what I want to counter. Okay. Okay, gamer. I see you. Let's draw. What's a guy gotta do to hit a land around here? All right. Foretell Doomscar. Keep holding up Annex Hate. Take 6 from your knights. Suddenly the mana situation is starting to bug me. I'm going to put a stop here and try to make sure we draw an untapped land. Alright, draw. Opponent playing around the counter magic. There we go. Draw again. Still not blue. Do you like planes? I got those. Doomscar. Bye. Poor Nico. Just sitting over here with some shards. Can't get on the battlefield because there's no island, although I'm sure our opponent would love. Our opponent would love to find a non-basic land, or any land for that matter. Careless celebrant. Robber of the rich. Somebody actually ran it. Somebody actually runs the... This might be the original mono red song Inspiree that we're seeing right now. I think there is a chance that is true. Those of you who know the mono red song, Careless Celebrant, is one of the more indefensible lines of dialogue in the mono red song. All right, they are just raining stomp on me. Okay. Nice island we got here. Nice and careful. We're gonna take out your little centaur, satyr, whatever. Shut up. Don't need correcting on this. I'm gonna send out this Saw It Coming into the Foretelled. And our opponents ripped some lands in a row, so now they feel comfortable deploying a 3-drop where it's not their whole turn. They've been playing around the Saw It Comings pretty well. All right. But now we've got enough mana to drop an ECD on those Bone Crushers. That feels good. See, we can play a Nico. Nico's something we could get back. Or just, you know, Skyclaves and Yorions. The goods. Valakut Explorate. Okay. That's not in the mono red song. Royal Eruption. And they're just going to dome me for 1 and play this Giant. Which, see, we cast a Skyclave Apparition, take this out. Flicker and ECD? Nah, it's time to use these. We've been holding mana up for them. We have to make sure this dies. Nice. Alright. Yorion! Yorion. I'm not going to use the second Omen. We don't need more value off the play. We just need to keep ruining the opponent. Besides, this mono-red player is a renegade, okay? They're running Valakut Exploration, they're running Careless Celebrant. Who knows what they're going to get up to next? Tor Bran. That's just Tor branding. Alright. See if they want to... They might try to cast a burn spell on us. I'm just gonna hold the Omen. No rush. And let's set this off so they can't. There you go. Now... Appu? Or ECDU? ECD. Since their spells will be so expensive, I'm just gonna play this Nico. Because I get to do this. Set the loop. Let's begin the loop. If they kill the Nico, this gets it back, so they can't do that right now. If this goes away next turn, we still have this, and then it puts them on tax mode, and then we play the Yorion. They killed the Nico. Thundering Rebuke. You love to see it. Let's shard. Shard. Nice. Yorion. Caca. No reason to reset this, right? It comes back with 3. Yep. Fire Prophecy. Resolves. Opponent's on Singleton Mono Red. Except when it comes to Bone Crushers and Rimrock Knights. Adventure cards. Good cards to spam. That's it. That's it. Nico loves noodles. Alright, moving along. Alright, we are on the play. We actually have Archon of Sun's Grace. Our opponent has Yorion. So this is not that great of a hand, but it's different from the other hands we've played so far, so let's go. We'll find counter spells. Everything's going to be fine. You can't deny it's a nice solid curve of stuff. If we can back it up with 1 or 2 counter spells and they're on ultimatum, I think we can win. But we don't need more of that. Oh, you are also a Plains gamer. Cool. White, red. Oh. This could be a deck I played earlier this week. Which would be a nice fight because they don't have counter spells. And we have a couple. And it could be a good battle. So, I need another enchantment to go with my Archon, or my Archon's kind of a lame card. So I'm going to buy Yorion now. Let's see if our opponent also buys Yorion. So what we have to be aware of is Devastating Mastery, if it's the deck I think it is, and Ugin, which are pretty terrifying cards for a deck that likes having permanents on the battlefield to flicker. And they get the first tome. Oh, that's... whoa! Sky Noodle Tribal. Archon! A Pegasus. Let's ride. This is not the best draw for the matchup. Alright, Solemn. Yeah, this is the Reconstruct History build, I believe. 4 Devastating Masteries, 1 or 2 Ugins, 4 Reconstruct Histories. Yeah. Alright, well, we get to make a lot of Pegasi tokens. I just have a feeling the board will get swept, but we'll do our best here. We are a counterspell from pure success. Of course, our opponent may choose to try to play around counter magic being open. They can't be sure we don't have it. Scry to the top. Land. Bloxes. Pointless attack. All right. Professor of Sim blah blah blahs. Reduce to memory. Reduce target's Archon probably? All right. In responses. Well, I have a little army here. I have Yorions that aren't doing anything. Feels bad, man. All right, they might not have Devastating Mastery. And they're still one away from Ugin. Let's attack. The blocks might also give us clues. So, I think we're going to get Masteried. And I don't want to play a Yorion if the only value I'm going to get is a Plains. So I think what I'm going to end up doing here is sacrificing the Omen. The Omen will hold priority until sacrifice, so they at least have to figure out whether or not I have a counterspell. But we really need to find our own Maze Mind Tome or our own Omen of the Sea so that these generate value. The opponent might also assume we have a counterspell because we could have cast a Yorion and chose not to. So, the mind games of not doing what looks obvious. And we'll see how it works out. Alright, opponent reaches for Yorion. They do not attack. Yep, they're being patient. Jwari. Jwari can hit Ugin, but I don't think it's worth it. Maybe it's more worth it than I think, but I don't think so. We've got to find an Omen or something else. The flood has to end somewhere. All right, Omen of the Forge for the opponent. Take out one of the tokens. Sure. ECD. Sure, that's pretty good. Caw. This will hold priority. Make the opponent wonder whether or not we have a negate, but we're in no hurry to crack it. A little less value, unless the opponent wants to flash in another Omen of the Forge. Also, it can pick off the Yorion. The ECD can, thanks to our own Sky Noodles. And where's the Pegasus? Exiled. Boo. Ooh, they burned the tome. I thought they were going to try to reset that. That's good for us. Mastery, yep. At least there's nothing for their Yorion to do yet. And yay, we found a tome. We needed this. We needed this badly. Let's go ahead and draw now, in case it's a tapped land. It's a Nico. We could play the Nico and make some shards. If there's another Mastery, that won't be good. So let's hold. Birth. What does birth get? Plains. If you Yorion this birth, I'll be so happy. Oh, darn it. They've got another tome. Tome wars have begun. We're not cracking our passage because the bottom of our library sucks. In case anybody's curious. Although we might if we can get another shard out of Nico. But I'm actually not in a hurry for that either, because I think it'll just get blown up as well. So let's play the clock. There's nothing we can really... or do we milk this tome? Yeah, let's play the clock. If they blow up the clock in the tome, at this point we got some cards, then we play Nico, make a whole bunch of shard tokens. And then hopefully we're moving in the right direction to outvalue them. ECD. U. Okay. Don't like that. And there's a professor to get back. Okay. Ugh, this game's been a rough one. Let's draw. Birth. So I could get an extra planes with my Yorion, but I think I just want an extra card. So let's go. Yorion. I think our deck can... I think our deck has this. We just have to get to the right parts of it. So, anything we can do to dig deeper and deeper, better we are. Our opponent does know they can sneak something past counterspells this turn, but we're not very exposed. We do want to find another ECD for when they play an Ugin. An ultimated Ugin is not good, and we don't have great ways to pressure it. Yeah. Yep. Opponent feeling themselves. Thrill and discovery, sure. Gotta reconstruct history. Gotta fill that graveyard. They've definitely outdrawn me all throughout this game. Okay, another passage. Guys, eventually, right? Eventually, we'll get to the good stuff. Okay, draw. Okay. Another tome. Eventually, guys. We'll get to the good stuff. It'll happen. It's coming. I'm not in a hurry to shuffle because of what's on the bottom. But it's an 80 card deck, and God knows if we shuffled, we'd probably start drawing the hot sauce right away, right? Because that's how the shuffler works. That's math. Anything else? Another tome? My goodness. How many more do we have to navigate? Alright, they don't have that many more tomes. They haven't drawn extra Yorions, though. We don't know for sure that they have them. That's pretty good. That's helpful. Mike Punch. Let's do it. Let's take out that fresh tome. One less tome to worry about, yes. Don't want to play spells in this situation anyway, right? Maybe I should just do this. We draw one more card, we scry one, we reset. But it gets a lot better if I wait another turn. We can Omen on their turn, we can play Birth. Yep, let's wait. The Skyclave might die, but that's about it. Uh-huh. So opponent's trying to turn up the heat. They've got a board. The good news is they're not going to want to sweep it. Which is kind of the strength of their deck, that they have endless board sweeps. We'll have to figure out how to tone them down a tad. Like if they cast that if they have the guts and they cast that Mascot Exhibition this turn, they have so much power and toughness on the battlefield. Yeah, they believe I'm going to sweep the board. It's my reputation, guys. My reputation just gets them every time. Alright, keep on digging. Set up a beautiful Yorion here. More caskets does seem good. Alright. Draw. And I guess we're going to crack these now. I bet we'll draw like a Doomscar, and I saw it coming as soon as we crack these, even though we de-thinned our deck, I think is what you call that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want to cast you. We want to cast you. We want to have 2 mana open if we draw a counter. Empty caskets, best caskets. All right. Scry first. Try to find those counter spells. Wait, 2 mana won't be enough to counter, though. This is a Saw It Coming world, okay? Yeah, I don't have enough to counter. Interesting. So if that's the case, I guess we just leave mana open to draw cards with the tome. Yorion. Oh, we do have 3 mana. Math. Guys, I'm great at math. It's my specialty. Blinksy, 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 blink. Do we want to get rid of the professor? I think this casket will get exploded, and they'll get to go fetch something. But I guess we do want to reduce pressure. Ah, they jelly. They jelly. Yeah, the Boros History Winota deck, or not Winota, Yorion deck is a good Yorion deck, but it's not a great Yorion deck because the cards you're blinking just aren't as powerful as the blue ones. It's just part of the price you pay. It's just a much more exciting kind of different version that you can play. All right, we'll take this Omen because it's an Omen. All right, before this one goes off, we're scrying, and we really need to find Saw It Coming. We haven't seen one this game. Now would be a good time to do it. And we get another 3. Dig, dig, dig. Ugh. Fail. Fail. It cannot be done. Saw It Coming will not appear in this game. Well, yeah, no kidding. Here comes the devastating mastery. Because now we're all up on the board. I really wish I had a way to exile their graveyard, because I guess we have to counter Reconstruct History is the answer. We have to be able to counter it. So hopefully we will find the means. You may pay. All right, they did not pay student cost. I'm sure they expected that to get countered. I'm sure they did. Lantern? Annoying. Why the Omen, do you think? I guess they plan to exile my graveyard anyway. And now they go for history? Now they go for history. They're going to play into a Jwari. Solemn. I mean, it gives me something to ECD. All right. They did not play into the Jwari. This is such a... The student has brought much honor to the dojo, but they're annoying me. Hello. Where the heck were you last turn? Let's make some walls. Trying to decide if I also want to just cast this. There's probably better targets, though, and we should be patient. Patience, patience, patience. So, mascot exhibition? I think I can beat a mascot exhibition. Am I crazy, though? Am I crazy if I don't counter mascot exhibition? It's a lot of power and toughness that can't be ECD'd. Yeah, they're looking at the graveyard instead. And they don't go for it. They also subscribe to patience. Okay, nice. Five, 10, and enough to counter something. Okay, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we can blow up their Castle Ardenvale for good. We go get another island. We play... Keep on checking my math. All right, we play ECD. We exile Solemn, and we play you-know-who. Yorion! We gotta rebuild some value. No reason to actually exile this because there's nothing to hit unless they're going to flash something in, which I don't think they are. I will have all the planes from my library, please. All right, place your bets on will we draw the last planes with the Omen. All right, not quite. So Midnight Clock is there. They used an ECD on it before. Like, we really want to protect this, but we do need it available to us at some point. How about Archon? Archon's good with the Yorion if we can keep the Yorion around. It's bad without it because we don't have any more enchantments. I guess we have Nico. All right, we'll keep both of these. They are gas, as it is said. Here comes that reconstruct history. We're going to counter that. And then they're probably going to have another one. But then they won't be able to play it this turn, so they want Omen, they want Lorehold Command, Devastating Mastery, and the Lantern. Now, the bad news is, when they cast another history, they can get another history. So if they have another history right now, and they might, it's a good chance with how deep in the deck they are. All right, I guess we're going to sweep again. And reduce the Yorion. Interesting. Exhibition. All right, we're gonna make an army. We're gonna make an army. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's. There's such a thing as too much of a good thing. Let's tone the Nico back enough to draw a card with Nico this turn, because we need to find more gas if something terrible happens. So that is. There's 3 for the Nico. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Phagosuses. And well, if we minus, the Nico can get hit by Omen, but the ECD gets it back. Wait, 2 damage? No, that ain't it. Shard, that's what I want, Shard. All right, my squad is ready to rumble. We need to get a ton of land on the field, play the clock, and then charge it before they can kill it. Or find Saw It coming to defend it. That's the next wave of this game. Fire Prophecy. Okay. Remember, we have an ECD going off. The opponent's also down to 4 cards, though. Like, for the first time, both of us... Okay, that exiles. That makes sense. But you still got all these. They don't have lifelink anymore. We also have more Archons. There's 2 more Archons in the deck, right? Yeah, 2 more Archons. I would not attack if I were you. I have a lot of walls. All right. Opponent attacked. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Skyclave Apparition, you say? Might as well. And tag that Professor of Sim blah blah blah. Let's draw a card. Lower hold command. Okay. Could have killed Nico. Chose not to. Tome seems good. Now I've drawn multiple cards, so I can take out your 4/4.
That's what a perfect throw looks like.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So holding up odd mana for the Saw It Coming doesn't seem like too bad of an idea, but I think I want to play the clock. All right. Let's turn up a little bit of pressure. I think we hold back 2, so that through 2 removal spells, we protect Nico from the Inkling. Through 1 removal spell, I should say. Another Fire Prophecy. Yep. Midnight Clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So holding this up is, instead of foretelling it, is no cost. All right. Ding dong. We must protect the clock, though. It's the next 7 cards, and it's our last one. And this grind might go to what's in the graveyard. Wait a minute. Oh, they've Soul Guide Lanterned me. Yeah, the clock's not as good as it looks. Although, fresh 7, even from a depleted library, is pretty good. Especially with all the lands pulled out of it. Yeah, they're trying to reconstruct history again, aren't you? Aren't ya? By the way, the right sorcery to get there is the other reconstruct history. If you really want to rumble. The cycle of frustration. Okay. All right, we could activate shards If we find another Saw It Coming, we could close out the game. On the other hand, we could charge up Clock and try to get a fresh 7 in the near future. Both are tempting. Because sacrificing... I think with Devastating Mastery in the deck, we use the shards. Because eventually they'll get blown up. And I don't actually know if Clock is going to make it to the finish line. And closing out the game by finding a few more counter spells would be nice. Would be good to put this one in the bank. Doomscar. Okay. Dig, dig, dig. Digging all the way. Multiple Juarez. Let's go. Didn't use the attack all button for effect, obviously. I guess the walls mean I shouldn't care about this. We probably shouldn't have played this. Try to keep Nico around.
I can get you past their defenses.
Soul Seer Nico. Well, do we let you go? The opponent has 15 mana. These Waris probably aren't going to counter anything. But Nico's not doing much. This is weird. All right. You got it. At least we definitely gave the appearance that we have another counter spell with that pause for contemplation. Another mastery. There it is. Okay. Sacrifice. Come on, baby. Come on, deck. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, deck. Come on, baby. The Sky Noodle with no blinkables. It's the worst. It's the worst. Although they might not have a way to kill it anymore. All right. Well, I give up. I give up. $23 cards left. Can we kill our opponent with these cards? Professor of Simblablas. Our opponent is down to one thing. Just one thing. Sciences, that's not impressive. Well, at least we didn't counter the Soul Seer. We're +1 Jwari Disruption that I don't think is going to matter at all. And our opponent has one card left. They are Reconstruct History away, though, from really rubbing it in. Naked Yorion. Let's go. Naked Yorion. They've run me out of win cons. We need 4 attacks from this 4/5 flyer. That's how we win the game now. I think there's 2 more Archons, and there are 2 more Omens. Let's shuffle the library too and get those Omens into the mix. They just missed with their birth, so they might not have more land. Whiff. Yeah, got him. Land Destruction Gamer. All right, we have to be careful. I think we hold this and try to find a Saw It Coming to protect it. There we go. All right, attack. 8. This is not enough damage for lethal next turn. So let's hold. 11. Oh, man. Oh, man. Do not draw Reconstruct History. Okay. Or anything else for that matter. Down to 6. All right. This now is a lethal threat. Let's go for it. We just need to protect it for one turn. They did not cycle. Why did they not cycle? That's got to be an oops. That or they're so confident. They're so confident they has it. Take it. Don't risk it. Don't risk a Fire Prophecy killing the Archon. Rip apart. Okay. And... no. The time has come for you to hear the word no. Naked Yorion, like Hercules, can go the distance. Wait, what? Really? I won that game, and I went from 15 to 16. I won that last game, and I went from rank 15 to rank 16. That's how much of a freaking scam the ladder is at this point of the season playing best of one. What a scam. And we are back for the post-game wrap. A quick 4-0 on the ladder today. And we moved all the way from rank 30 up to rank 15 and then back down to 16. Because this is fine. Shuffler's fine, matchmaker's fine, ranking's fine, everything about computers and machines in our modern world. It's fine. Just let it be fine. All right. What would I change for best of one? I always find Midnight Clock kind of awkward in best of one because it seems like there are a lot of ways to kill it and it doesn't have board impact. My Midnight Clocks never seem to hit 12. That's the problem. If my Midnight Clocks struck 12 more often, I would want to play them. But I usually end up cutting them from my lists because my Midnight Clocks never strike 12. Maybe that's a lot of bias. Honestly, I don't want to change anything yet. I mean, when you go 4-0, changing things does sound a bit like, really? Really? You're going to do that? I did feel like I could cut 2 lands. But at the same time, I also hit all my land drops and played all my cards on time. So why should I change things? Because combined with 4 Birth of Meletus and Jwari Disruption and this pile over here, you are actually running 40-ish land if you count the Birth and the Jwari. So obviously we're hoping to cast Jwari on time. There's also 2 clocks, so it's like 42 mana producers. It does seem like a lot. So that is one of the things that I'm looking at as kind of sus, is can we trim some lands? And if we did, what would we do? I actually like the 3 Doomscar. I like having the removal focused more on Exile with Glass Casket and Skyclave Apparition, and Elspeth Conquers Death, and then on kind of outclassing them on board with Archon of Sun's Grace, Omen of the Sun, Yorion, and Nico, as opposed to trying to always sweep the board. I like it this way. So I actually think the Doomscars are where they need to be. I was digging for counterspells a lot, and I think you will be in best of one, so maybe a Test of Talents can sneak into the main deck and keep Zenith Flare from happening. I also wanted Graveyard Hate. Maybe it's not insane to have a Soul Guide Lantern in best of one, just because it's a dimension the deck otherwise isn't good at attacking. So those are the suggestions that I have. So, as we move into the outro, we're going to dedicate today's video to the latest YouTube members, as well as my latest Patreon. So thank you to James T on Patreon for pledging $1.99, and to the members who hit the join button below, became members of the Cool Kids Club to get exclusive benefits like deck lists early and VODs of my Twitch streams ported over to YouTube ad-free. We have Barney, we have Insightful, Charles Schlafer, and To Find and Be Found. So thank you guys for signing up. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate your support. We've got some bangers in the store on the daily deals with some good discounts. I don't know what this Witch of the Moors even does. Like, I haven't even read this card or played this card, so I'm not getting that. But Approach of the Second Sun, lock that baby in. Let's go. Absolutely. Glorybringer, it's a red card, but it's one of the coolest red cards. Dracarys. Let's ride to glory. Absolutely. Ulvenwald Hydra. Man, I would get this because I would play it a ton in Historic Brawl, but they don't keep Historic Brawl around enough. I want to believe that someday they will. I'm getting it. We're getting the Ulvenwald Hydra. This is a sweet Brawl card. So yeah. Thank you very much to the members for supporting. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to hit like, remember to hit subscribe, remember to join the Cool Kids Club. But if nothing else, watching the content is supporting the content. So you, if you stayed till the end, you're here right now watching this, you're cool.